तू चल तेरे वजूद की समय को भी तलाश है, जो तुझसे लिपटी बेड़ियां समझ ना इनको वस्त्र तू, ये बेड़ियां पिघाल के बना ले इनको शस्त्र तू.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense excitement that I, Harshita,
And I am Monica,
your host for the day, welcome you all to 8th season of GDPI Dangal, a unique initiative designed to prepare and polish our future leaders. GDPI Dangal is one of a kind simulation that aims at settling the inner of the students by providing them with an imitation of the journey that they embark on to fulfill their dreams.
The event is organized by MyCareer Chandigarh, which is an educational institute under the mentorship of Sony Goyal Sir for competitive exams like CAT, ZAT, SNAP, etc. It aims at providing quality education to all the individuals aspiring to get into prestigious B schools all over the country.
During the workshop, each student will be personally mentored by experts. Students will have a chance to ask doubts freely and interact with faculty in a more informal way along with scheduled formal sessions, group activities, games and knowledge sessions. Let us make the most of this opportunity to learn, grow and unlock our true potential. Together, let's set the foundation for a bright and promising future. We extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guests who have joined us today, bringing their invaluable insights and experience to this platform.
Subham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhan sampadaha, shatru buddhi vinashay, deep jyoti namastute.
Now, this is the time for the lamp lighting ceremony, a cherished tradition symbolizing the illumination of knowledge and wisdom. We would like to invite Vivek Atray Sir, Kapil Pandya Sir and Sony Goyal Sir, Himani Ma'am and all faculty members for lighting ceremony.
Vinayak Sir and Agri Ma'am, please join us. Lighting the lamp is an act of reverence, a tribute to the eternal light of learning that dispels the darkness of ignorance. It signifies the journey from the unknown to the known, from shadows to clarity. This ceremony is not just a ritual, it's a moment of unity and hope. It unites us in our shared quest for knowledge and progress. As the flames flicker and glow, let them be a reminder of the bright future we aspire to create through our collective wisdom and efforts.
Come. You come.
Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Sony Goyal Sir to address the audience. Mr. Sony Goyal, an alumnus of IIMA Ahmedabad, is a renowned mentor, coach and social entrepreneur with a passion for education and empowerment. Founder of Prayas, he works tirelessly to provide quality education to underprivileged children, transforming lives across the country.
A CAT record holder, he has cracked the exam 14 times with 99 plus percentile and mentored over 1.5 lakh students, professionals and educators through seminars and initiatives. His YouTube channel, Mission CAT, offers free learning resources to aspirants. Beyond education, Sir inspires with his love for sports, music, poetry and social impact, exemplifying leadership and dedication in every effort. Over to you, sir.
Respected Atray Sir, Dr. Pandla, Madam Agrim, Vivek Bhai, Himani ma'am, Pearl ma'am, and my dear students, and the team of PMLSD Business School who are helping to manage this show. So, very good morning to all of you, and welcome to Dangal 8.0. So, I am happy, with all the efforts of the team that we are able to do this time, 8th version of this Dangal, bigger and better than its previous versions, and it's happening at its home ground, because it was started 8 years back in 2017 with the support of Vinayak and Devi in Chandigarh itself. The idea was that why don't we do a boot camp where we have the student coming and taking a feel of a B school. Because most of you want to enter into management institutes, right, with an aspiration of getting a good career. But most of us, almost each one of us, right, is alien to what happens in a B school. If I talk about my own journey, when I was preparing for GDPI, the answers I gave was very, very basic, and it has no linking to what actually happens at a B school. क्योंकि जब तक आप वहाँ जाते नहीं, आपको पता नहीं चलता कि यार ये GD क्यों हो रही है, इंटरव्यू क्यों हो रहा है, why all this process is there. So the idea came that why don't we give a short 3-day, 4-day mini MBA where we help the young student understand what lies ahead. If you are going to spend 2 years of your life in a premium B school of the country, how it's going to transform you, what does it expects from you, right? So with this objective, I welcome you all, and I wish that this GDPI Dangal is going to be a great value addition, not only in terms of your MBA journey, but in terms of your life also. Some of you might be, wondering why Dangal is the name. That time, movie Dangal was doing its best, and we were not able to find any suitable or would say A-class name for Dangal. और उसमें chat GPT भी नहीं होता था. So the idea came that why don't you keep as Dangal. Then it was only Dangal. There was no 1.0 or 2.0. Then the coming season we like to keep the name same, and we cherish the spirit of Dangal to compete with yourself, with your peer members, and ultimately with all the MBA aspirants in this year which will be competing with you for this thing. So this Dangal will have 3 levels of inputs that we will be giving you. The input 1 is through our esteemed speakers, where we have 16 plus speakers coming from different parts of the country who have been achievers in their life, right? Who have mentored thousands of people, and the more you will meet, the more you will get to know. The second part is where you will be participating in management games. So each day there are 2 games planned for you where you will learn, about your behavior, about the importance of participation, so many other things. So it's learning with fun. And the third aspect is where you will be actually appearing for mock GDs and PI. So these 3 things comprises the crux of this thing. Apart from that, you will have late night session with your mentors. You will have some food parties like at my home. All those who have travelled from Pune, from Maharashtra, from far off places. So I invited them. So we had a good discussion for 3 long hours, right? And try to understand each other's aspirations, right? Very well. So this is what Dangal is. So I wish you all the very best, and I request you, to remember one thing: winning is not important, but the participation is very crucial. So we have designed Dangal 8.0 with 1,000 points. So we will have a winner decided based on the this thing, and the whole lot is divided into 8 teams. Can we have A team standing up? Okay. B, you can sit down. C, Team D, Team E, Team F, then G, then H. Right? So they will be now having their naming ceremony, they will have their title, they will have branding, marketing, HR, operations, सब आप सीखने वाले हैं. So I will not take much time on letting you reveal the understand the whole story of Dangal, but I want to keep many things secret so that जितना वो unfold होता जाएगा उतना आप enjoy करेंगे. So welcome you all to GDPI Dangal. And I also would like to thank from bottom of my heart to the PML team who have not only associated with MyCareer for this mega event, but extended all possible support. For last 1 week, Pandla sir, Agri ma'am and whole team, we have been trying so that this could go on. And I'm very happy to see that we are all on time and we are making this happen. So, guys, let us begin with the first session. We already had our lamp lighting ceremony. I would like to welcome and you can give your introduction. I will give my 2 minutes, 2 lines to sir. So I met Atray Sir. You can read a lot about Atray Sir on. You must have already explored, right? On Facebook, on Insta, on YouTube, his TEDx talks, his many podcasts, he's author of many books. All that I am keeping, aside. When we met, I am just sharing our first meeting. There was a session conducted in CII where my coach, my mentor, Ashit Ghosh has one graduation ceremony and I was invited as guest of honor. Sir was chief guest there, right? So, I did my speech quite bottom of my heart and I put in a bunch, गिरते हैं शायद सवारे ही मैदाने जंग में वो तिफल हाँ अभी भी गलत है वो तिफल क्या खाक गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल तो I have been sharing this particular thing for almost 10 years. Not even a single person has come and corrected me out. Right? Sorry. Right? No, not sorry, sir. So, and with the what a humbleness, what a with the I would say the way he helped me out becoming a better speaker. Because when he started his speech, he gave a brief intro of how and all that public speaking should be. Apart from that, then he motivated all the young people there for whom the session was. So there was a lot of learning involved, me as a speaker, right? And I would say, if you want to learn, it's a live book in front of you, right? I'm very sure that this session is going to, set a standard of this whole Dangal very high, right? But so far my interaction till that day, till today, I have been constantly learning and following sir on, on all the media and whatever his activities are. Okay, 40 lines. Okay, teachers का ये होता है ना जब शुरू हो जाते हैं तो 45 मिनट तक रुकते नहीं. So I will not take much time. So wholeheartedly let's welcome Atray Sir with big round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, a very happy new year to everyone. अभी न्यू ईयर चल रहा है? अभी न्यू ईयर ही है ना? Yes, sir. Even if you wish someone on 31st January, it's okay. New year, still new. Anyway, it makes us feel good. Dr. Kapil Pandla and Sony Goyal ji, Agri ma'am and Vivek ji, and the entire team which is organizing this event, and dear students. I'm very happy to be at PML SD Business School because this is one of the institutions which I'm very fond of. I've been coming here very regularly to speak at SD College, also at this business school, and I was associated with the business school from day one. So Mr. Sony Goyal, when he invited me, I thought I'm going to Sector 34 because I've been there once to his premises. But then he told me I'm coming here, so it is like, as they say, Sone Pe, सुहागा। वो तिफ्ल और तिल्फ वाली बात पे ज्यादा वो मत जाइए, लेकिन ये जरूर है कि कैट का एग्जाम है या कोई एग्जाम है, उसमें ध्यान रखना पड़ता है इन चीजों को, राइट? You have to be very exact. So let's start the year. This is my first speech of the year, by the way, and I have another one at 12:30 p.m. today. So वो second हो जाएगी. And I have one at IIT Bombay on Sunday. Impress करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Facts बता रहा हूँ. Facts. IIT Bombay on Sunday and tomorrow at PGI. That is Saturday. PGI is hosting a camp for its doctors on leadership. And so my warm-up speech is this one. Okay? But I will give you all my whatever inputs I can in this very brief period, not taking much of your time. There are two topics there: winning the battle of the mind and excelling in the GDPI process. Okay? Of interest to you is the GDPI process, but of importance to you is winning the battle of the mind. Where is the battle of life being fought? In the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And in the mind. Because where is Kurukshetra? Kurukshetra is the mind. So both statements are correct. So if it comes in CAT, that reasoning and all, where is the battle of Kurukshetra being fought? It's being fought in the mind. Who are the two armies? Which are the two armies in Kurukshetra? Kauravas and Pandavas. Where are they?
Brain and heart.
They are also in the mind. They are also within us. The bad guys and the good guys are within us. We have to win. That means the good guys have to win. Human beings are imperfect. Can you challenge this statement by saying you are perfect? अभी तक मुझे डर लगता है कई बार कि Gen Z, you're Gen Z or millennials? Gen Z. Millennials तो old हो गए ना? Gen Z are young. So Gen Z से मुझे ये डर लगता है that I go somewhere and say nobody is perfect. Yes, sir, I am perfect. What डर लगता है? Then I'll ask him the capital of Ethiopia. फिर वो सोचेगा, आता होगा वो भी शायद. हाँ, Addis Ababa. Then I'll ask him about Burkina Faso. Then I can ask him about Oppenheimer's theory. मुझे नहीं आती होंगी. He knows. Anyway, nobody can be perfect. But we can win the battle of the mind by becoming better. Yeah? We don't have to be perfect. Even in CAT, even in GDPI, do we need to be perfect? You are competing with human beings who are also imperfect. They may be better or worse, but they are not perfect. So perfection may be possible in a score. I believe that Mr. Goyal gets 99 what? Every year. He appears for CAT every year and gets 99 percentile, right? So that is almost perfect. But even he, where is he? He may have some imperfections. Because he went out while I'm speaking, that is imperfect. I'm joking. He's a wonderful person. Very happy to be here speaking for him. So my first point to you, let me walk around a bit. My first point to you is that if we need to win the battle of the mind, what do we need to do? We need to take a call, first of all, take a decision that we want to win the battle. It's very easy to succumb. Succumb मुश्किल word है? नहीं. SUCCUMB. Very easy to fall prey to temptations, desires, anger, fear, worry, negativities, complaint-bazi. Very easy. Then we become, then the Kauravas are winning. Then the bad guys are winning within us. And what about other things like helpfulness, empathy, being good-natured, honest, having a good character, creativity. These are the good guys. These are the good qualities. We need to see if we can win the battle by using the good qualities and minimizing the bad ones. Everybody has a problem. Is life without problems? So two things we have already discussed. Nobody is perfect and life is unpredictable. It will have problems, adversities, negativities which we have to overcome. And winning the battle of the mind will help us to win that battle. Okay, let's come to GDPI for a minute and then I go back to the mind. GDPI is for one particular landmark in your life. Life will go on after that also. Ho gaya ya nahi ho gaya, life will go on or not? If it doesn't happen what you want, then also life will go on. Other tests and challenges will come in life. You have to bounce back. If you face a problem, then you bounce back. So my second book was called Dubey Ji Bounces Back. Any Dubey here? Raise your hand, Dubey Ji. Nobody's there. I noticed one gentleman, your name is Kavya? Kavya? One of you is named Kavya?
Yes, sir.
Kavya. My daughter's name is Kavya. Your name is Kavya. I noticed from the front row. Good, nice name. What does it mean?
So it means poetry.
Kavya means poetry. So, if I am looking for perfection and predictability, it will not happen. What is the controllable? Can I control external factors? Can I control the examiner's mind? Can I control the interviewer's mind? Can I control my own mind? No. Because even my own mind is uncontrollable. Can I control my physical fitness? I can try. I can also try to control my mental fitness. Can I enhance my knowledge? Can I become sharper, more confident? Can I become less obsessed with social media? So I can be fresh for an interview or an exam or for a date or whatever it is? Should I reach there looking sleepy and groggy? Or feeling sleepy and groggy? Should I be at my best on the day of GDPI or my second best? I have to be at my best. There's no point being at your best 3 days before that when you're studying hard. That day you have to be at your best. Your mind has to be at its sharpest, freshest. Who is Sam Constas? Opening batsman for Australia. When he's facing Bumrah, he has to be at his. Even then he can't face Bumrah. But he tries. Right? The point is that he has to win the battle of the mind, we have to win the battle of the mind. Now when GDPI comes, I have to be clear in my mind. I have to push down my negativities. Okay, let's talk about overthinking for a minute. We're talking about winning the battle of the mind and excelling in GDPI. Can I be overthinking? What is overthinking? How many of you are overthinking? Raise your hands confidently. Yeah, don't overthink right now. Just raise your hand if you think. Right, good. Okay, man. Good. Yeah, okay. The point is we are all overthinking in 2025 because we have Instagram. It helps us to overthink. Or it forces us to overthink. Can I be calm in 2025? I can try. But most likely I'm overthinking and stressed. And then I'm not at my best. Am I at my best when my mind is disturbed or when my mind is calm? I'm talking about disturbed versus calm. Will a calm mind take the right decision or a ruffled, restless, disturbed, angry mind? Your calm mind will see. Okay, what about the pond of water which has water which is still? And the reflection of the moon is clear in that pond. And I throw a pebble in the water. And the surface of the water is disturbed. And the reflection of the moon is distorted. My mind is the pond. And I keep throwing pebbles into my mind. And then the image before me of life or challenges before me is distorted. I am angry, so I will say something which I should not have said. Will regret later. And there is a saying कि शब्दों की चोट बहुत गहरी होती है, इसलिए छोटे-मोटे मामले मार पिटाई से सुलझा लेने चाहिए. Which is the first joke of the year. Because it cannot be possible. The police will arrest you. No? I hope I don't have a wardrobe malfunction. I'm a bit worried about that. ठीक लग रहा है सब कुछ? Zoravar will tell me. All okay? All right. Army में inspection होता है? Civil service में नहीं होता. So I know a lot of army officers and they are very, impeccably dressed. So I was sharing a UPSC mock interview once. How many of you are interested in UPSC even now? Okay. No harm. CAT के बाद भी MBA के बाद भी UPSC possible है, साथ भी possible है. No harm in that. So he was cheering or I was sitting and he pointed out the young man's tie. I couldn't find anything wrong with that tie, being from the IS. But from the army, he found that it was a little bit 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters this way or that way. And luckily I'm not wearing a tie today. Some of you are, most of you are. Doesn't matter. I'm not using the PPT. It's okay. They can look at me here. Okay. Now my second point comes through a story. I'd like to tell you my favorite story of Mr. Pedrevsky. How many of you follow football and know any Polish football player's name? Okay. Tell me one name.
Lewandowski.
Everybody knows Lewandowski. Anyone else? Okay, good. Not bad. So if you want to change your password next time, a Polish football player's name is a good idea. Nobody can crack it. They have the most difficult names in the world. Except when the Dutch team, Holland team, Netherlands, एक ही country है ये? सोचो. Dutch people, Holland and Netherlands is the country, is the same nation. Okay? They came to Thiruvananthapuram to play a World Cup match. And on Instagram video they were asked to name the place where they are. फिर वो Polish football players से भी मुश्किल उनको लगा. They couldn't say Thiruvananthapuram. मुझे भी मुश्किल से practice हुआ. I went to deliver a TEDx talk at NIT Andhra. Anybody from NIT Andhra? Okay. And this NIT Andhra is in Thadepallikudam. And I practiced this for 3 days before I got it right. Thadepallikudam. Anybody from Andhra? Okay. So Pedrevsky was a Polish piano player. ये तो easy नाम है Pedrevsky, तो फिर भी easy है. Not as easy as Vivek or Kush, but quite easy. Pedrevsky. He was to come on the stage to play the piano. And he was a maestro, master of the art. He was like Roger Federer of piano. And he was to come before 500 people. Now I'm speaking in public before you. If you like, you can also understand from this story some art of public speaking skill, communication. Okay? Not only the story. So he was to play before 500 people. And only 2 seats were empty and the curtain was about to open. The show is about to start. One young lady with a child of 6 years walks into the hall and sits down on those 2 chairs they sit down. एक word है शशि थरूर का surreptitiously. वैसे उनका नहीं है, but normally उन्हीं को पता. Surreptitiously means चुपके से, बिना बताए. Hindi all understand? Anyone who doesn't? Okay, surreptitiously, chupke se, they go and sit on those chairs and nobody has noticed because children below 12 are not allowed. But this lady cannot leave her child over there at home. She has to bring the child. He is not interested. He wants to play. But mama has zabardasti brought him. Now Pedrevsky is about to come on the stage and the show is about to start. Poland में nobody notices such people entering because there's only one usher outside. यहाँ पे इंडिया में तो bouncers भी होते हैं और बहुत लोग होते हैं ना. भीड़ में कोई निकल गया तो निकल गया, otherwise nobody can go through. 100 years ago this concept is taking place. She sat down, but then this lady, just before the curtain was to lift, she noticed a friend sitting 2 rows ahead. And now she has brought the child surreptitiously. And now she wants to meet the friend. So she tells the child, just keep sitting here. I'll meet my friend and come back in a minute. She goes and the child runs. He doesn't want to sit and listen. He's a naughty boy. Were you naughty at 5, 6? We were all naughty at 5 or 6, even now some of us are. But that boy, he runs. And there is a board saying no entry on a door. And he goes inside. First he runs, then he goes inside a door saying no entry and finds himself on the stage with the piano. With the curtain still closed. And the 5-6-year-old boy decides to start banging on the keys of the... He doesn't know how to play piano. He starts going ding-dong on the piano. Now people are wondering where is this sound coming from. Tedrevsky uncle practice kar rahe hain? Not likely because the sound is not very musical. Now, the mother comes back to the seat. 3 things happen at the same time. The mother comes back to the seat and finds that her child is gone. The curtain opens and Mr. Tedrevsky walks onto the stage. Now the mother's heart is sinking because earlier already they were coming in without permission. Now her child is gone. She turns around and finds her child is playing the piano on the stage. Now she thinks she will be arrested. And her heart is palpitating. The child doesn't care that the curtain has opened, whatever it is. Very, very brave, bold, naughty, courageous, fearless child. Going on banging. Maybe one day he also wants to become a piano player, but right now he's just having fun. Mr. Tedrevsky comes on the stage, 500 people are watching. Whose test is it now? Whose GDPI is it now? It's Mr. Tedrevsky's test. He finds a child playing the piano instead of him. He is expected to come and gracefully adorn the seat and play like a master which he is. But here a child is playing the piano. 500 people are watching. What will he do now? Nobody else is on the stage. Right? Nobody else is on the stage right now. Tedrevsky has 2 options. First is anger. Gaurav's. The first option is anger. The bad quality. Which is a natural reaction of a human being to such a situation. I am Tedrevsky. I have come to perform. Who has allowed this child to come here? Call the ushers. Call the organizers. Take away this child. I am Tedrevsky. I have to play. Right? But what is the second option? The pond of water. Calmness. Tedrevsky's test is won by calmness. He doesn't shout, he doesn't get angry, he doesn't say anything to the child or anyone else. He goes there and he says, bring one more stool. And the child is sitting on his stool. They bring one more stool and he starts playing with the child. And the child doesn't stop. Usko fitur chala hua. Passion. He's just going on and on and on, banging. And Tedrevsky starts doing jugalbandi with the child. Improvising, changing his tune, forgetting the original plan. And now he performs with the child for 90 minutes. And the child is tireless, fearless, doesn't stop. Tedrevsky doesn't stop. Everybody is mesmerized by this performance. Mantramukht. Captivated. Because they've never seen or heard anything like this. So let's clap for Tedrevsky first. Now I want to know from you, what are the qualities that Tedrevsky exhibited in this film? Calmness is one. What's the second?
Compassion.
Okay, one by one. Innovation and flexibility is one part, and definitely correct, because he adapted and he innovated. He was not fixated in his mindset. He was able to adapt to a challenging new situation. When a celebrity is in public, his mood, his anger, everything is going to go. You've seen these videos of people getting angry at the airport because somebody is coming. Yuvraj Singh and I know each other a little bit. So Yuvraj and I bumped into each other at the Bombay airport. So people were coming and he kept cool. But how long can he keep cool when people are coming for selfies? So Tedrevsky kept cool and calm on the stage. He adapted to the new situation, and somebody said empathy. So he had empathy for the child. What else? One more quality? Yeah?
Presence of mind.
Presence of mind to do the new thing and keep cool. Yes? Huh? Sense of humor also a little bit. Yeah? Who else said something?
Great public presence.
Sorry, public?
Public presence.
Public presence.
Yeah, so
Presence of mind?
presence.
Yeah. Okay. But was he arrogant?
No.
Then? What is the opposite of arrogant? Humble. Humbleness. Not thinking too much of himself. Not behaving like Virat Kohli. Behaving like Dhoni. Calm. Who is the calmer of the two, Kohli and Dhoni? We know. Alright? Both are successful. Now he's not in form. So it depends on what works for you. But Pendrevsky definitely found winning the battle of the mind to be a win. A great man should not become non-humble. Otherwise he doesn't remain great. He starts thinking too much of himself, he will collapse. What about Amitabh Bachchan on KBC? Humble. He makes the other person feel like Amitabh Bachchan. He becomes as if he is not even there. So humble. I came on phone a friend one day with Mr. Bachchan online. I was online. And you should watch that clip for a minute and send it to you sometime. It was a moment for me, although I was online. But he's amazing. Humility. So when we are in a challenging situation, Pendrevsky had a challenging situation. When somebody goes to play for India, Manu Bhaker in the Olympics, how many medals? 2 medals. Which other Indian has won 2 medals? And one more? PV Sindhu, yes, and one more? No, not Abhinav Bindra. Which other Indian has won 2 individual medals? Sushil Kumar. Sushil Kumar is the lesser known of the lot. Now the point is, see, I'm not a quiz master. The point is that general awareness is also important. But how you carry yourself is very important. And how you carry yourself, your personality, your aura, is not a function of your outer personality, but of your inner makeup. If you have a victory over your negatives in your inner makeup, your fear, your worry, your trepidation, then you will conduct yourself much better. Your aura will be superior. We all have a vibe. Your word, na? Gen Z word. Hamara nahi hai. I have picked it up. You are my constituency. I am not standing for election. But you are my target audience. Did ma'am mention or somebody mention that I came on the Ranveer show? नहीं पता ना. शुरू में बता देता तो और ध्यान से सुनते आप नहीं. Ranveer show? तो सुनना पड़ेगा. When I'm sitting with Ranveer over there, he has an aura and a vibe. Some people don't like some of the things, but overall he's very successful. I have to have an aura and a vibe over there. So watch that. It's a good show. I was with him for about 2.5 hours. There are 3 episodes in the same recording, and one next year also. I went in Hindi. So the point is that I emanate a vibe which, a set of vibes is the aura, which a person carries because he or she is losing or winning the inner battle. Not because of your makeup, or because of your grooming, or because you visited the salon. It is because you visited your inner soul and you won that battle of negativity. What about criticism? Being self-critical, is it good or bad? How many people say good? Raise your hands. And how many people say bad? Raise your hands. It depends on how much you are criticizing yourself. If you are introspecting and analyzing your mind and your body and your knowledge, and then you want to improve, that's positive. So after your Rajma Chawal on Sunday, you sit down for half an hour before sleeping, for 20 minutes, go for a stroll. Pehle hota tha, after lunch rest a while, after dinner walk a mile. Now they say after lunch also walk a bit. So go for a little stroll after lunch and think about where your life is headed. How is my mind doing? Am I improving or am I stagnant or am I deteriorating? Am I improving? Am I stagnant or am I deteriorating? Next story. A lady was late for her flight and she missed the flight to Bombay. Delhi, Bombay. Delhi airport is a crazy place. She missed the flight. And she called up her boss in Bombay, sir, I'm late ho gayi hu. He got angry at her. 2-3 hours later, she would reach Bombay now and attend the next part of the conference. The boss was not happy. She was not happy. She sat down at the Delhi airport with her book to read for 2 hours. And she bought a packet of cookies. And has anyone heard this story? Okay. She sits down to read her book. A man picks up the packet of cookies and eats one cookie. At the lounge, wherever they are. Now this lady is already angry, upset, ruffled mind. शब्दों की चोट बहुत गहरी होती है. ये उसको सुनाने वाली थी. But she controls herself. She wins the battle of the mind and controls her speech and doesn't say what she wants to say. Whatever she wanted to say, we don't know. This man eats another biscuit. So she takes one biscuit from the packet just to prove that this is my jurisdiction. This is my property. This is my packet of cookies. Now, quiz question for you. How many cookies are there in a packet? Okay, give me one example. Monaco.
Like Monaco will have around 18 to 20.
ऐसे फटे मारे, you know.
Right.
18 to 20.
5 rupee packet was 5.
How many?
5 rupee biscuit.
The small one. Okay. Supposing there are 13. Okay. He has half and she has half of them. She doesn't say anything. He keeps eating. He's smiling. Men are very annoying anyway. Men can be very annoying. And the lady is like, but she doesn't want to let go of the packet. She keeps eating and he keeps eating. Both lightly smile kar rahe. Last cookie he picks up and gives her half and eats half. She decides, I will not lose my cool. And after a while the flight is announced. She's walking to the boarding gate and she opens her purse and she finds the packet of cookies is in the purse. She had been eating his biscuits. Now you look at the situation. Similar packet. She had been eating his biscuits. Now this man is smiling. He wants to be friends. But the point is that she is losing her cool internally for no reason. Why? Because she was distracted. Overthinking. Not in the present moment. She did not keep, because of her mind state of mind, she made a mistake. Ho jata hai. Sometimes we lose our parking slip, no? I lose it many times. I don't know what happens to it. It just goes somewhere. I put it in my pocket. I think I just start playing with it and rumple it and throw it. Absent-minded. Very bad. If we are distracted and overthinking in life, we cannot succeed. We have to focus on the task at hand. So overthinking can be avoided by 5 ways. Let me give you this takeaway, which will help you. 5 methods to have a cooler, calmer, more confident mind. And less negativity and overthinking. Anything over is bad. Overeating, oversleeping, overthinking, overcooking, overacting. कुछ लोग real life में overacting करते हैं. That's one internal joke that I have. Anyway. So the thing is that we have to do 5 things. Number 1 is physical fitness. Those who are physically fit, their minds are better. Because they are indulging in physical fitness activities like sports or gym or whatever. Gym bhi theek hai. But outdoors is better. If you can walk or jog or play badminton or cricket or football or whatever you do, it is very good. Gym is also okay. At least you are physically fit. Your mind, your happy hormones are happier. How many types of hormones, happy hormones are there? Tell me. Dopamine,
Serotonin.
oxytocin, endorphins and serotonin. Very good. So 4. So these can come through physical fitness, they can come through conversation, some of them, they can come through good food, feel good factor. But basically physical fitness will help. And sports definitely helps us in life. I'm a sportsman. 8C can I do twice, cricket. And I love organizing cricket tournaments. Even now in my father's memory I do it. And I'm very much into sports. Number 2 is meditation. एक शेर सुना दूं आपको. So the शेर is, yes, what do you want to do? The शेर is फितूर होता है हर दौर में जुदा जुदा. फितूर, you understand? Like the child, passion. फितूर होता है हर दौर में, era. जुदा जुदा means अलग अलग. पहले खिलौने, फिर इश्क, फिर पैसा, फिर खुदा खुदा. फितूर होता है हर दौर में जुदा जुदा. पहले खिलौने, फिर इश्क, फिर पैसा, फिर खुदा खुदा. This is the linear equation of life. We start with toys, then we want crushes, romance, and then we come to careers. ऐसा वो इकट्ठे चलते रहते हैं दोनों. And then we reach a stage where we may or may not. Optional. God is optional. Yes, you're nodding. God is not optional. God is compulsory. So bring in meditation, prayer now. And prayer is we talking to God. Meditation is God talking to us, trying to talk to us. You sit down to meditate and He will talk to you. Don't think of Him only when the GDPI is there. Hey Bhagwan, help me, help me, help me. Don't think of Him only when the exam is there. Think of Him when the result is there also. ये भी मैं लाइट वे में बोल रहा हूँ. Think of Him in every moment. And meditation twice a day will make you calmer, make you concentrate on your studies, on your task, on your work. You'll become better. If you can control the mind for a little bit also through controlling it through meditation, you will become better at concentration also. This is the tangible worldly benefit. Spiritual benefit is different, superior. Okay? So find God now. Start looking at Him. And even find peace and calmness in meditation. Find a scientific method. I follow YSS Kriya Yoga. You can follow anything that you like. Paramahansa Yogananda said, be calmly active and actively calm. Think of this. Be dynamic, but calm in the mind. And actively calm means work on your calmness actively. Number 3 is creative thinking. Those who are artists, musicians, poets, sportsmen, cooks, designers, they are creative people. And they will be better off. They will calm their mind, their overthinking will reduce, they will succeed in life better. When you learn the guitar on Sunday and you go back to work on Monday, you are charged up. And you look forward to next Sunday when the guitar again will come. And your guitar on Sunday gives you energy throughout the week. So have a creative pursuit in you. Number 4 is conversations. Conversations. रणवीर शो पे आना जरूरी नहीं है सबके लिए. यहाँ पे conversation. Coffee. Coffee बहुत जरूरी है उसके लिए. चाय भी ठीक है. But now you know what I want to have after this quickly. It's a joke. Coffee and conversation. Conversation. बात करो. Your Gen Z doesn't talk. My daughter, Papa, I'm talking to someone. I said, I can't hear you talking. No, I'm talking on WhatsApp. Said, what do you mean? You're texting, you're not talking. Then I'm joking. Everyone will. I have to go to another grim. The point is that talking and listening is a human activity which is essential. We can't be only texting. Conversations will help you to become less of an overthinker. Clear mind. Lastly, books. Sir ने बोला कि he's an open book or a life book, something like that about me. All of us are walking, talking books. All of you. But the book that I'm talking about is a book that should be in your hand.
is a diary, but it should be in your hand. And even a digital Kindle or anything is okay with me, no problem. Read. Reading, you can't do 2.0 or 1.5 fast forward, like a reel or a video. You can't fast forward reading. When you read, it is a calming, knowledge-enhancing activity. When I meet youngsters in a party or a conference or a place, I know which one reads and which one doesn't read. अभी आपसे 2 मिनट बात करूंगा तो मैं आपको बता दूंगा कि आप बुक्स पढ़ते हो या नहीं पढ़ते हो. आज नहीं करूंगा बात, अगली बार. पॉइंट क्या है कि books are important. Creativity, knowledge enhancing, and less of stress after that. So I just wanted to share these thoughts. Let me lastly say that when you want to excel in the GDPI process, you need to be emitting a good aura and vibe. वो तो ठीक है that you need to answer or you need to speak well. You cannot become from level C of communication to level A plus of communication within. It is a lifelong process. But we can improve our communication skills. I was not always speaking on stage like this. Sometimes I would be okay, sometimes it would be ठीक, which is the same thing. But basically, you improve. And you win your inner battle, it's more important. Your vibe will win the day. The interview, the panel will be astonished at the energy you're emitting. And mankind has not started measuring these thought drones and energy particles and the vibe and the aura yet. You can't say that this person has 8.34 ka vibe and this one has 2.3, minus 2.4. विराट कोहली बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. वो भी अच्छी vibe रखता है कभी-कभी. Sometimes I have a show called the Good Vibes Show. My show is called the Good Vibes Show. I have it on YouTube. You can follow it. Instagram also, same spellings are correct हो गए. मेरे spellings गलत होने के 50% chances होते हैं अत्रे के, पर यहाँ पे 100% ठीक है. So if you follow me on YouTube or Instagram, you'll find me. The Good Vibes Show. When I say, some people think the Good Vibes Show. Vibes तो सारी अच्छी होती हैं, husband अच्छे नहीं होते हैं. I should not make these husband-wife jokes. Anyway, nice to meet you and good to have your attention because it's a small hall, so you can't escape looking at me. But even when 500 people are in the hall like Pedrovsky Saab ke samne, then also I make sure that the last row is with me because that is important. Okay? I wish you well in this boot camp. I wish you well in your contests, your competitions, your exam, your GDPI coming up, and in your career. Career doesn't end over there. It starts. So you have to look beyond and work on your inner castle. I'd like to thank PMLSD School also, Dr. Pandla and the team, and Sony ji, and hope we meet again. This was the first talk of the year, so congratulations for being a part of it. Just joking. And I hope I have more than 300 this year, and we'll meet again. Thank you.
So we have two tall men with mustaches, one by one. Two tall men with, I'm 5'11" and he's also about 6 or 5'11". So actually we started with a tall man. We started with tall man with a French beard. He's also another. Exactly. But the good thing is everybody's very fit. That's the best part.
Now I request Sony Sir to please propose a vote of thanks to our guest.
So, I know sir अभी खड़े हैं क्योंकि इनको जाना है. So, thank you sir. Thank you very much for this opening session. Right? और ये सेशन आपको धीरे एंड तक समझ में आएगा क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीजें थी जो डायरेक्ट थी और बहुत सारी चीजें थी जो बहुत सटल थी, right? Which you will, realize over a period of time. And I would like to thank sir for the previous session, which on which he was chief guest on the inauguration ceremony of MyCareer Chandigarh 34. And I am happy to tell you that sir, this year's city topper is from the institute. Can we have a good hand? In fact, the top 3 missions for CAT is backed by the MyCareer student. It was a small batch of 40 students. We called it Fabulous 40. And out of those 40, we have 5 plus students with 99 percentile. So you are going to be very lucky this time also. So
you are very fabulous.
Right. So we are starting this Dangal with Sir's opening session. I'm quite thankful to for his talk and giving us this good vibes right in the beginning. So
and anyway, life is a Dangal. So don't worry about the contest ahead. Life में आते challenge. We will wrestle. Like Sushil Kumar boxer है या wrestler है? Wrestling करेंगे. I have to be like this.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. All best of luck. Okay. Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Proceeding further, we are delighted to have Dr. Kapil Pandla, Director PML SD Business School as our guest of honor, speaking on the psychology of interviews for GDPI Dangal Season 8. Prior to joining PML SD Business School, he was Dean and Professor at Sharda School of Business, Sharda University, Greater Noida.
Before that, he served IIMA Bhubaneswar as Dean, Business Development, NIIT University as Area Director, IFIM Bangalore, Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Noida, Aravali Institute of Management, Jodhpur, Management and Commerce Institute of Global Synergy, Ajmer.
Let us all give a warm round of applause to Dr. Kapil Pandla as we invite him to share his thoughts and enlighten us with his vision.
So, good morning. I have to use this. So, good morning, all of you. And heartiest congratulations to Sony Sir for making it the 8th version of Dangal, isn't it? I think the filmmaker must be much happier than he himself that he is still using the name Dangal, right? Isn't it? Okay. So Dangal has started or not? Yes. Is it? It was only warm up. No. Dangal will be later on, no? When he will be asking you to do some exercises. Right? So, the topic for discussion is psychology behind interviews. How many of you agree that interview is only a psychological game? You don't agree?
A bit of I agree. I don't agree with it.
Okay. So what are your reasons for disagreeing that interviews are not psychological game?
It's much more of a strategy. It is strategical.
Okay. Another dimension, strategy. Okay. Why don't you think so?
It's not how you look. How you dress up.
So dressing up is not psychology, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Yes, please.
It is like a performance. In an interview, you have to perform and act a certain way as well.
So I'm not debating that it's not the content is not important. Of course, yes, it is important, right? But if you talk about it, how you present the content is more important. How you present yourself is more important, right? And many times you have to get into the psyche of your interviewer, right? To answer, isn't it? People have fantastic content, amazing knowledge, but then also they falter during interview. And why they falter? Because they are not able to understand from where the interviewer is coming from, isn't it? Okay, being in top business schools for so many years, what I visualize and what I think that when we select a student, right, few things we do look at, right, apart from content, because we feel that content anyways we'll be able to build, isn't it? That's why the student is coming to us, isn't it? So what we actually look for is the person with high learnability. That is one, right? Even if you are not that great, but then positive, isn't it? Again, people say no, take it as long as you can, isn't it? So don't take this word outside, isn't it? So so that is what you are looking at, right? And second, the thing which is most important for any institute now, and even if you talk about top institutes, right? Whether the person is placeable, isn't it? Because because of those accreditations and all, right? Student outcome is very important, isn't it? If you talk about NBA, if you talk about AACSB, if you talk about Request, if you talk about the AMBA, right, the top accreditations around the world, or you're talking about QS ranking, right, they look for student outcome, how well the students are doing. So there are two things which are very important for them, because knowledge is something which is difficult to test, because there are so many things under the sky. So you need to be presentable first, and that's the most important quality you require. So we'll be talking about certain tips and tricks, easy to follow, right? Feeling sleepy? Travel in the night?
No, sir.
Then?
After dinner, we woke up early, so...
Bit louder?
I'm not habitual to waking up early since a while.
Oh, wonderful. Right. So how many of you are not habitual of waking up early? Let's see. And others are liars. Right? So we'll be talking about certain tips and tricks, right? And easily you will be able to do it, right? And likelihood of improving your performance during the interview may go up, right? And of course you have to strategize for it, isn't it? You have to keep in mind that I have to do it, isn't it? Okay. Okay, meanwhile, they are fixing it up, right? So remember one thing, that don't depend on technology too much. So, and that's why it is very important when you join a B school, right? At least have some respect for your teachers rather than on Google, right? Because there is something which they must be telling you which is not there in Google, right? Isn't it? Of course, yes. Because everything is not coded and stored, isn't it? Tacit knowledge is more important than the explicit one, isn't it? So how you deal with people, how you deal with the situation, right? That you won't find in the textbook, right? So therefore, classes are important. Okay. So now, things are back on track, right? Anyways, although PPTs are just to have some points and then discuss, right? So the first thing, which is most important, is smile, but not too much, right? If the interviewer is cracking a joke and you are, laughing on the floor, then it won't work, isn't it? So you need to smile, right? Okay? But yes, it should not be an expressionless face, isn't it? Because that will reduce the chances of selection, isn't it? So put a smile on your face. It will cost anything? Nothing, right? So, which one is better? This one? I thought this generation is very much comfortable with emojis. Isn't it? So this one is good? Yeah, very nice.
More smell.
Okay. What about this one?
No.
No. Then? Is it fine?
Yes.
Isn't it? So we have this kind of a smile on the face. Okay? This is trick number 1. Right? So when you enter the interview boardroom, even if then there are chances that the interviewer will be staring at you, right? And with a focused face, right? Just to test, right, how much calm you are in such kind of hostile environment. Isn't it? So therefore, but you have to keep your smile. Okay? That is number 1. Then there's something called reflective listening. Have you heard of reflective listening before? What is reflective listening? What is reflective listening? What is written over here? Just a moment. And just keep it this way. Right? So what is reflective listening? Okay, by the way, what is listening? Hearing and listening, right?
You can hear everything, but
Hearing and understanding the other person's views and what he is saying is listening.
So the basic difference between hearing and listening is, yes, hearing is a physical activity, right? What is happening outside also you are listening. Hearing, right? Isn't it? Sound of this machine is also your hearing. But listening is a cognitive process, isn't it? Where you apply your mind. So, when you are in an interview, to show that you are very active, right? Be a reflective listener. What does it mean? Why it is important? Because that will give you an advantage. The interviewer will feel that you are actively listening, isn't it? And second advantage is that you will not jump to the answer without understanding the question properly, isn't it? So how you do it? For example, there is a question being asked by a interviewer, right? You paraphrase it and then check whether this is what you want to test. This is what you want to ask. Isn't it? So first is it will clarify if there is any doubt. Second, it shows that you are a reflective listener. That's very, very important actually when you talk about interviews. Okay. Right, for example, I think we have copied along. No problem, no problem. Because there was a video, I'll show it that. This is basically for a job interview, right? Similar thing, your interviewer can ask you that why there is a gap, isn't it? How you responded, right? Why there is a gap in your studies, right? So maybe I was preparing for the CAT, right? Or maybe, but you should have a right answer for it, isn't it? A relevant answer. Maybe you can say that I started doing a job because I felt that job experience is good before going into a management study, isn't it? But that answer should be, you should answer it with conviction. Right? See, they don't like flimsy or dilly-dally answers, right? Whatever you're saying, you should have that conviction in you. Okay? And that's why paraphrase it, ask it, and then answer it. Right? Any doubts so far? Nothing? Shall we move to the next? Yes, please.
Paraphrase is like repeating the question the interviewer.
Into your own words, right? Maybe there are questions which, I'm not saying that every question you should repeat, right? Maybe certain questions which you think that more clarity is required, isn't it? So, paraphrase it in your own words and then ask, isn't it? This is what you want to ask, for example. Okay. Say if somebody says like, marketing is, and where you want to go, right? Which career option you will choose after completing your MBA, right? Do you want to do a job or you want to become an entrepreneur, right? So then you have to ask, like, are you asking immediately after my degree, or you are asking 5 years down the line, isn't it? So that will clarify your doubts and it is much easier to answer them, right? Secondly, they will also feel that yes, you are listening. That is one. Then keep your hands warm and dry, right? Because there are chances that they'll extend the hand to handshake, isn't it? And if it's wet and all, not give a good, that means you're anxious. Clumsy and then wet hands shows that you are anxious, isn't it? And that, even if you are, you don't have to. Isn't it? And most important thing is like, what happens is, you get into the interview and you extend the handshake. Start the handshake. Isn't it? Don't do it. Isn't it? If they start it, of course you should. If don't do it from your side. Yeah? Any doubt? And a ground rule, otherwise also not an interview, that because handshake has cultural connotation as well, that for example in this part of the world or the Middle East, you should not initiate a handshake with a woman, right? Until unless she is doing it. Isn't it? Because there is a cultural thing attached to it. Right? Any doubt? Anyone? Okay, but the handshake should be firm handshake. Okay? Sometimes it's a bone crusher. Just crush it. Don't do it. Or maybe a fish, dead fish, just lending the fingers only. Don't do it. It should be a firm handshake. Am I clear on this? Then try mirroring, but stay positive. What is mirroring, by the way? right? So it should not look like a mimic, but you should mirror it, right? Because if somebody is cracking a joke and smiling, you should also do it. Isn't it? Because there's something called same attraction theory, right? Which works over there. Okay. Mirroring also in other places, we will be discussing that as well. Right? So when somebody is doing something which you think that you must respond, for example, some humor or something like that, respond in that fashion itself, right? If somebody is asking a serious question or a serious expression on the face, right, you also should show it. That is actually mirroring. Clear? The video I cannot show because I think something around 5 was.
Sir, it will take us 2 minutes and we will switch.
We'll show it in the end. So mirroring shows chances of success in your interview, right? Because you like people who look like you. See, there's a saying, right? There's a book written by a philosopher, Tao of Physics. How many of you have read it? Heard of that book? So in that book, he has written that, when you talk about physical world, it's opposite poles which attract each other, right? But when you talk about cosmic world, it is the same pole which attracts each other, isn't it? And from that perspective, mirroring is important, right? Any doubt, anyone?
Can you please repeat the name of the book?
Tao of Physics, T-A-O of Physics by Fritz of Capra. Be mindful of your body language. See, there are certain things which you do out of habit, right? Like, for example, shaking of legs. It doesn't mean that you're anxious, but it's a habit, right? But the panel won't be able to understand it. They feel that you are under stress, right? Anxiety. Remember, this is a problem, right? If they are able to make out that the person is under stress, they are not going to take you in. Because that becomes a burden on the institute. Isn't it? At times. Because it's very difficult to deal with. You can go out there. नहीं यहाँ दो ना तो ना. So, got it? What we were discussing?
Body language.
So that is like, you should not shake your hand, shake your legs. That is again, and also, don't lean too much forward, or don't get relaxed, right? As if you are sitting in a PVS cinema, right? Don't do it. Okay? So you should have a relaxed position. Okay? Eye contact is important. What happens is, like, there are 3 panelists. What we do, if somebody has asked us a question, we look only in the eyes of that panelist. And that's not the right way of doing it. You should address all the panelists. Maybe 50% of the time devoted on the person who has asked you the question. Remaining 50, you can look at others also. Right? They should not feel neglected. Clear? So, maintain a proper eye contact. Yeah? But don't stare. See, there is a difference between eye contact and staring. Right? So that you have to look at, right? Sometimes what happens is, like, somebody asks us a question and we start looking at it. Isn't it? Avoid that as well. Look at, and even if you are going to take a pause. Because once you look up, that means you have no interest in the question. So, avoid that. Keep a positive expression on your face. positive expression means that you are more than willing to join this institute, right, being selected. Okay? So that is what we have to do. Maintain a high level of eye contact, which we have already discussed. Then use subtle hand gestures when speaking. See, it is personal interview, not a public speaking platform. You know, public speaking you can use hand gestures like anything. But if you do it in an interview, it can be a reason for your failure. No, don't do too much of hand movements. 1 or 2 times it is okay, fair enough, right? That we all do. But just like what you do in public speaking, it's not a public speaking platform. Remember this. Yeah? Any doubt? Nothing? Feeling better? Good. Then lean towards interviewer, but maintain appropriate personal space. Leaning doesn't mean that you just jump on the table, right? Leaning is yes, right. It shows enthusiasm. Right? When you lean forward, it shows that you are willing to listen, willing to answer. Okay?
Not too much hand gestures, then where should our hands be placed and how should they be?
See, it's good to place it like this. People, right? There are I'll just show you how you can place your hands. So one is like this. This is simple. This shows that you are interested. You can keep it like this, right? Don't have this kind of a posture, referee posture, right? That shows very defensive. Right? You can keep it like this, right? So that way. But yes, certain amount of gesture is okay. Subtle way is okay, but not too many like you do in public speaking. In public speaking, you do it because you want to gain that attention, right? There, it's not a matter of attention because they are already looking at you. Isn't it? The next is vary your tone. See, intonation patterns are very important, which we call it as paralanguage. Okay, from communication perspective, we call it as paralanguage. That you must vary your tone, right? How many of you like the disclaimer in the advertisement of mutual funds at the end? So imagine you are also speaking in this on the same way, right? The same pitch. Will you like it? Not at all, no? So just think from interviewer's perspective. If you are not wearing your tone, then you should not be that loud, just like the movie 100. How many have seen that movie 100? Anyone?
300.
Athens and the Spartans.
300.
300. Isn't it? Just see the intonation pattern. So not that much, but yes, it is required, right? Because that shows on which point you want to put emphasis, which points you want. Just like it's not that important, right? Yeah? Any doubts so far? Nothing? Okay, good. See again, from psychology perspective, there's a theory called construal level theory. Right? How many of you know that construal level theory? Anyone? is important in the interviews. You know what happens is, sometimes you'll feel at some places your sitting position is very closer to the interviewer. Right? On some places they'll keep it at the far distance. Right? Don't drag it. Right? That there is a purpose of keeping your chair there. Isn't it? So it's not like that the moment you enter, you lift the chair and then. Isn't it? So don't do it. Wherever it is, sit there itself. Right? So, what this theory suggests that when you are far away from the distance, you are at distance, right? While talking and all, or any event, you think there is more of abstraction, right? When you come closer to the event or closer to the person, you talk concrete. Isn't it? Yes or no? For example, say you are traveling to Switzerland, right? Imagine, nothing wrong in imagination, right? So you are traveling to Switzerland maybe in the month of July. Fair enough? Once you get the selection letter, right? Finally you decided to travel, right? So additional loan you have taken, right? So if you are traveling to Switzerland, and right now in January, what will you be thinking about? Tell me. Mountains and all, right? Now, next week you have to travel. It's June end. Now, what do you think you're thinking about?
Packing the bags.
Huh?
Packing the bag.
Packing the bags, itinerary, right? Cab, hotel bookings, right? So when you are far away, you are in abstraction, right? When you are closer to the event or closer to the person, you are talking about the concrete things, isn't it? Now, the point which I am making over here is how this theory is important in the interviews, that if the chair is kept at a distance, right, don't only talk about abstractions, about your soft skills and all. It happens, that's a trap, right? And when the chair is closer to the panel, don't talk only in numbers, right? Therefore, the suggestion is chair farther or closer. You should be talking both in terms of abstraction and competence, isn't it? So when you talk about hard skills, do talk about your soft skills, isn't it? Okay, and that's why how this construct level theory is important during interviews, right? Even if it has distance, talk about concrete as well as abstract things. Am I clear on this? Any doubt, anyone? Hmm? Is it easy to do? No? करके देखने को. Then most important is don't interrupt. If you know the answer, we become so restless, right? We don't allow the person to complete, right? You know that the statement which the person is making is only for context building. The question is we'll be asking later on, isn't it? And the moment we are in the era where we search only the keywords, isn't it? So don't interrupt. Let the interviewer, the panelist, complete the question, right? And there's one more suggestion which is very important, that do not jump to the answer, right? Because otherwise it will look like that you have already planned it, right? Give a thought for 30 seconds, even if you have the right answer in your mind, okay? To really collect, isn't it? And then answer the things. Okay? Don't jump. Clear? I mean, 10-second pause. What's harm in it? Clear? So, don't interrupt. Clear? let the panelist complete the question. Then match the color of your outfit to the image you want to. Right? What kind of image you want to portray? 23% of interviewers recommend wearing blue, which suggests the person can be a team player. But 15% recommend black, which suggests leadership potential. Right? So if you are wearing black, show that you have a leadership acumen. Isn't it? And leadership does not mean that you start GD, right? Without knowing anything. Isn't it? So leadership is beyond comprehension, because still the researchers are not able to find out that why some people lead and why some people follow. It's difficult. Anyways, so if you want to show the leadership potential, you can wear black. Don't wear orange color or neon green type, isn't it, in the interview, right? Because the interview is not for Tommy Hilfiger, right? Sometimes because companies like Tommy Hilfiger and those they ask you to come in casual outfits, all the fashion brands. So if it is a fashion brand, after completing your MBA, then it is okay, right? We are talking about serious interview for getting admission into a Tier 1, Tier 2 an institute, right? Grey looks very logical and analytical. White is organized, and brown is dependable. Red again you should not be wearing, right? Yeah? Any doubt? Don't wear those fancy, catchy colors. They are meant for different occasions, right? Because as you rightly mentioned, that your clothes will define your personality, right? Unless you speak on a different plane altogether. Yeah? Any doubt? Anyone? Now, tailor your answer to the interviewer's age. How will you do it? Why it is important for us to do it? This is also called as similarity attraction hypothesis, right? So, any example?
So the kind of slangs we use.
Should be
Just
avoided.
whether or not we are saying vibe, or if we are saying atmosphere,
Right.
or if we are saying vatavaran, all of these things.
Exactly. So you have to tailor your answer to interviewer's age. Right? Say for example, yes please.
If someone is like having certain views on some point, so you also show that I am also having the same viewpoint. If someone is a Democrat, you talk that Democrat party is good, or thing like that, mirroring the other person, so that you don't.
Or at least be neutral. Because otherwise, what will happen if you start discussing Democrat party with you, you may not be have the answers, right? So if you have answers, then only enter into that territory, right? So take a simple example. For example, your interview is around say 65 or 70, right? And he is asking you who is your favorite singer, and you say Badshah, right? So just imagine what will happen to you, right? So that way, isn't it? Or is asking you to sing some song because just to test the confidence level of a candidate, right? They can even talk about the hobbies, they can talk about the interest, right? So therefore, you should be very mindful what I am doing it, right? Yeah? Don't talk too much politics. Avoid that. Those subjects are taboo, right? Even if somebody is asking a question, up to us how we come out of this kind of thing, right? So this is what I was talking about. Hold your hands like this, steeple, right? That is perfect. Then compliment the interviewer and the organization without self-promoting. Be candid about your weaknesses, right? I think Sir will be discussing later on, right? Sometimes we write weaknesses, like, you know, if the form suggests that you should mention your weakness, you write rash driving. All rash driving is related to this, right? So weaknesses should be there, right? Everyone has a weakness. Why to shy away from it? But you should have a plan how you are overcoming those weaknesses, right? Then prime yourself to be powerful. Don't show that you're very weak, you're very desperate, isn't it? Then speak expressively, right? You should have loud expressions, right? Loud expression we have already discussed, that your facial expressions, your body language, your hand movements, your intonation patterns, right? Those are very important to crack an interview. Then be friendly and assertive at the same time. Assertive does not mean aggressive, right? You are putting your points with full logics, right? But you are not shouting or so that way. How much time do I have, sir?
So now we have Q&A after this.
Okay, so just a second, two slides, right? And always prepare for uncomfortable questions, like for example, break in the studies and all, right? So you can always work on it. And there is a possibility that they will go out of the script. You prepare something, they ask you questions which are not related to it, but don't be anxious about it, right? They are looking for your confidence, not for your subject. I mean, I'm not saying that subject knowledge is not important. It's important because that shows how much learnability quotient you have, right? How much attentive learner you are, right? Then see, people say that the hiring or the selection decision is made in the first minute of the appearance, isn't it? So start with a big bang, right? So that elevator speech, for example, whichever question being asked, you should be able to answer it correctly, expressively, and with a lot of confidence. Okay? I think it's the institutional culture you must know, and also prepare a story behind it, because that will help you in explaining things, right? You should have a story to narrate, because if you say I have a leadership potential, they'll ask how. Tell us some situation, right, or some event where you have shown that you are a good leader. That means that you must have some story with you, right? So that's all from my side. Any doubt, any question you have? Yes, please.
So may I ask you to stress a bit more on gap years? There might
so there has to be some relevant answer to it, right? Logical. See, gap is perfectly fine. It can, right? Because you are getting into management education, right? Where, if you go to the West, experience is desirable, and people go to the job and then come back. That can be a gap, right? Number one. Number two, if you are preparing for CAT, right? For example, you can say that I was aspiring for having a better score. That's why I took a gap of a year. That is understandable. But that you should have a sound logic. Okay. Because then the obvious question will be how much you scored last time and what was the increase. If you say I scored last time 85 percentile and this year 60, so then your answer won't serve the need, right? Anything else? Yes, please.
Do you also recommend talking to people who have already given their interviews and who come out of the panel, just so that we are aware of things, or you don't recommend talking to them?
Those who are on the panel,
coming out of the panel.
Okay.
Already
that's okay. Not an issue. Because anyways, they won't tell you the truth. You are the competitor, right?
Sir, about the weakness part, like what will put off, like you mentioned the part about rash driving, that's a joke, but what will specifically put off the interview panel? Negative impact, like something like...
for example, I wake up late.
Okay.
So discipline is one thing which they look for. Right? That means you will not be coming to the class. Why should they take it?
And what are the acceptable ones, like which are a part of the normal parlance?
That I am more of a number person, I am still building my interest in the theory.
Sir?
Yes, please.
So like you mentioned that they don't prefer people who are anxious or not able to perform well in stress. So if a person actually gets anxious, so should they mention it as their weakness? Should not.
Because there are a lot of things which are associated to it, right? That we have seen in the past, right? So if there are any clear signs of depression and all, generally do not take. That's a risk, isn't it? Already have those signs, it's difficult. Unless you have come out of it.
Sir, if what are the thoughts about a weakness like I am too much friendly or I get frank really very easily?
So what's wrong in it? It's not a weakness, no? See, if you're going into sales, you have to become friendly to the strangers, isn't it?
So,
Yes.
so being emotional, like, is it a weakness or is it a strength?
See, being emotional is a strength, I'll tell you. But don't become sentimental. Right? I have emotions for my country, I have emotions for my organization where I'll work. It's good, no? Isn't it? But being sentimental is has a negative connotation. Yes, please.
Suppose I'm been given a situation by the interviewer and he has some views on that and I have some different views on that. So should I counter with an argument for my point or should I be more considerable for his point of view?
See, first of all, you need to understand whether the person is asking you this question to test your confidence in the logic. Isn't it? There's a possibility they'll say something wrong. To test you. So, as I said, be assertive. Right? This is my point of view. And this is what I have read. Right? Like they were 10 people, right? And they were given 2 sticks, right? And one stick was a smaller one and the other one was a bigger one, right? Out of 10, 9 were told that the smaller one is a bigger stick, right? Isn't it? What happened was, and the 10th one was not told, right? So everyone was saying that this is smallest, they were citing the smallest stick, that it is a bigger one than the other one. Isn't it? Now this 10th one thought of like, are they idiots or what? Right? But because everyone was saying it, he thought maybe I am wrong. Isn't it? That's called conformity bias. So don't get into that. Isn't it? If you have a point, even if 10 people are saying that it's not right, you must put it with logic. Don't fall into that trap.
Sir,
but don't argue also. Right? Many times, interviewers are also panelists, no? They do have ego concerns. Right? Once you put a point, then put it at rest. Yes, please.
Sir, we often see that there are UPSC aspirants जिनका 3-4 years नहीं होता and they often go to management studies. And sir, वो हमेशा एक question आता है कि 3-4 years you didn't do UPSC, So now why management is, even I am struggling with the same answer, sir. So I'm
Okay, that's why I've thought to get into management, which is much closer than the job which I'll be doing in English. It's also management and administration are very close, no?
Right.
Isn't it? So that way you can answer. And that's why I'm choosing this.
Sir, is it like, as you say that you should come up with a story or something, and is it advisable to add some like pinch of humor in your story or something like that? Because considering that's your aura, like whenever you talk or whenever you narrate a story, it's your aura that you add some of humor. So is it necessary to be completely serious in an interview, or like we can?
Not necessarily. If you want to add some something humor, it's okay, right? But you need to understand that humor should not educate someone. Isn't it? Sometimes we do crack jokes which people may take it as an offense. Isn't it? So that you need to take care of. Right? So no casteist joke, no religious joke. Right? Slight humor is fair enough. It's good, no? That makes environment very convenient. Yes, please.
So how to address a negative question about ourselves without making a negative impact on the interview? Like for example, I have done BBA in business analytics, but I don't know anything about business analytics. So how to show that? It's for example.
Okay, and they are asking questions from business analytics, right?
Yeah, because it's my specialization, right?
Okay.
So I'm graduated in that, so they will ask about it.
So you can always say that after doing BBA in business analytics, I found that the number is not my cup of tea, first of all. And therefore, I realized I can be very good in HR or marketing because I am people's person, right? So you have to take those difficult questions from past to present, isn't it? If you stick to the past, I flunked into examination or you start discussing, teacher threw me out of the class many times, right? Don't remain in past. From past, move to present. There I have realized that I am good at it. Isn't it? We make bad career choices at times. Right? And we have to correct it somewhere, no?
Sir, what can be the way to enter the panel room? Like there can be by knocking, by directly opening and asking who has been coming, and will it make a difference?
Yes. Right? You must have seen movies, no? So, entry of an actor. Does it make a difference or no?
Yes.
Right? Similarly, how you enter the room also make a difference. Right?
Implementing the panelists. So what kind of compliments are comfortable and
Nice question. there are ways of doing it, right? Simple, even simple nodding and showing that yes, you're too anxious about the question. A wonderful question you have asked, right? Yes, please.
So my question is related to meeting the panelists. So see there are 6 panelists sitting in a row and see the lady sitting on the first and the last end. So should we sequentially
No, it's not like that. Don't do it that way. Like, I've seen people, good morning ma'am, good morning sir, good morning ma'am, good morning ma'am. Like you do it like this. No, not at all. Good morning ma'am and sir, but that's it. Look at the eyes, make the eye contact and say, fair enough.
good morning panelists?
Yes, not panelists.
Not panelists.
Good morning ma'am and sir is better, no? Yes.
Sir, if you are very sure of your cooked up story and if you are willing to read it with 100% conviction, so is it a fine idea or better let it go? Because sir, sir has assigned me a mentor. She said she gave 8 interviews last year.
1 minute. Both of you go. Both of you go out. I will talk to you after this. We'll talk after this during the tea. Yes, ask your question.
So sir, the reason behind me asking this question is the sir has assigned me a mentor for the further development. She says that she gave 8 interviews and in 7 interviews she lied with 100% conviction. As per her, she didn't get selected. She was truthful only in 1 interview and she was selected. So I just wanted to know if you are very much sure of your conviction that you are okay with your cooked up story. So shall we proceed or still not to go in that particular
I'll
part?
tell you one thing. Without wearing helmet, 7 times you are not caught. That does not mean that you start riding bike without helmet.
Yeah.
Isn't it? See, if the panelist is smart enough, right, and generally what many organizations now do, they go for CBIs, right, competency-based interviews. You will be caught. How much good story you have created. Be honest, no. Why? Isn't it? People say that they have manipulated even psychometric testing. Isn't it? They do it. There are ways of doing it. Because you practice and once you'll be able to do it, right? But when you face the interview, even that can be tested. It depends on the panel. So, if you are honest, chances of selection are much higher. I'm not saying that if you go the story, it's not there, but that's a very tricky question to answer. Right? I want people to be very transparent and honest. That's a quality one should have. Okay, done? Yeah.
Where should we draw a line in honesty?
Where you should draw?
A line in honesty. You can't be too honest with all you shall be.
Again, that you have to decide, right? Isn't it? If you are getting into argument, right, and you think that the interviewer is wrong, you will not keep on saying, sir, you are wrong. And that's the line you are drawing, no?
Yeah.
That you will feel that, oh, what kind of answer you giving, right? That's wrong. But then also you will feel fair now. Now have to pause and stop.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Okay, sir, one question from the audience who are online.
Yes,
can
please.
you put them into the full frame? So maybe you need to stand here and then you can...
Yeah.
Right.
Come in. Yes, please.
Yes, anyone can raise a hand and ask the question.
Yes.
Ankush.
Yeah, Ankush, what is the question?
So, in the presentation, you once said that there might be instances where the interview might go in a uncomfortable position and we have to pull back ourselves from that situation. How can we do so?
So, without dragging it too much, right? For example, if there's something political question somebody is asking, right? And you know that you are of a different ideology, you will not be able to answer this question with that much of conviction. right? It is always good that you answer once and then slightly move to a different sphere altogether, isn't it? For example, they may ask you an uncomfortable question that why you scored less, isn't it? Why your CGPA is less in engineering, right? For example, BTech. Okay. When acceptable is 7, you scored only 6, right? So you have to answer that question, right? You cannot skip. Give some logical answer to it, but don't say that I have fallen sick, because they may not like to have another sick person in the institute, right? Give your right reason that yes, I was from school, I went to college and whatnot, that serious in the first year, and then things improved. But later on, I have done these many projects. Now, what you have done from CGPA, you have moved on to the projects which you have done. That's a smooth transition, isn't it? And then they may be asking a question on projects and all.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Next question. One more person has raised hand.
Abhishek, you want to ask anything?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, like, I am from a banking background. I worked in a retail bank for 1 year, but I don't like that job. So, I am trying to get MBA in HR. So, if the interviewer asks me that you are from banking, former student, why do you want to do HR? So, my answer for that is I just don't like retail banking. May I say it directly to you?
See, my suggestion is like, don't start anything with negative, right? I don't like, it's an extreme statement, isn't it? Say I felt that my potential is much more in HR while working in the bank, right? I realized it, and I got a feedback from my seniors as well, that I can be a good personal manager, and a people's person, and that's why I thought of, moving towards that career. Because, saying in extremes again can be, suppose if a banker is there on the panel, what will you do? Right? Anyone else?
Now, here, sir, I have a question. So, there...
Yes, sir. We can see you. Yeah, continue.
Yes. So, there are very basic questions or standard questions that are being asked in interviews, like where do you see yourself in 5 years, or why MBA, or why this industry? Like, are there any particular set of standards that we have to adhere to while answering these questions, or can we go about our personal agenda of doing a course or choosing a particular college at that point of time? Or is there any standard way of approaching that question?
Okay, see, first of all, you should not be saying that my 5 years down the line, my aim is to get into this college. Number one, because you are already appearing for the interview, right? Assume that you are selected, right? So if they are asking you 5 years down the line, that means the career they want to know from you, right? So which career you want to choose? So you need to have a definite answer for it. Fair enough? Don't say that I want to become a general manager or something like that. Say about the career, not the job, not the role, right? Because that entices me, I'm interested in, and that's why I want to get into that field, and I want to grow in that field. Clear? I'll tell you an anecdote on this. There was in my previous institute there was a bank which came for the interview. The bank name was I won't reveal it right now. So they asked students a similar question, right? That where you want to see 5 years down the line, and the student answered that we want to become a general manager. Right? I'm talking about 2004 or something like that. And they said, fair enough, you want to be a general manager and what package you are looking at. So they said around 50,000. 2004 I'm talking about. They didn't hire a single student. You know why? Because they said that they don't know how much general manager will be getting at that time. Isn't it? When the entry was at 15,000, 5 years down the line you will become a general manager. Will you reach only 50,000? Isn't it? So they said that their aspirations are low, and if their aspirations are low, what they'll do to all organization? And they didn't hire anyone. So therefore, whatever answer you are giving, there has to be a logic behind it, right? Don't say I want to become a president after 5 years. I think it's done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for offering invaluable guidance to our participants.
I request Sogo sir to please propose a vote of thanks and honor.
Right. So I hope you have enjoyed the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I hope you all enjoyed the session?
Yes, sir.
Great, great. So this is first, your lesson into a B school life, right? The people who come, as you have heard about the sir's profile, working with so many institutes, right? We share the same institute where I have also taught, sir has also taught, Arabi Institute of Management, by Professor Varun Arya. So there we didn't know each other, but sir mere se pehli baar mile, it was in Batinda. We did one event, it was Dangal only, right? Maybe the version 3 or 2. And it was a challenge to do it in Batinda. We reached out to so many institutes, including IIMA. And sir was kind enough to travel all the way from Bhubaneswar to, Batinda and do that. And even then, student really enjoyed and learned what exactly, the people who are going to interview are expecting you. Because the profile of the people who ask to interview, right, is very similar to what sir is having, right? Because they are not the industry people most of time, right? Some institute make the panel where they invite the industry or alumni, but most of the time it is the faculty of the institute who is going to interview you, who is going to judge you on the interview. I think there cannot be a better perspective than this from the institute point of view. And sir has very well answered your question, helping you understand where you draw the line. वो बड़ा अच्छा एग्जांपल लगा सर मेरे को कि अगर 6 बार अगर आपका एक्सीडेंट नहीं हुआ हेलमेट से तो डजंट मीन कि आप या चंडीगढ़ में कहीं भी 6 बार अगर आपका चालान नहीं कटा है ना वैसे ऐसा हो नहीं सकता because people call it as चलानगढ़ right so very aptly made you to understand. I hope you are making notes, right? Okay. And the second thing I would like to for this association I'll just share how it started. Sir called me up just I think it was December last time, and he said, sir, hi, how are you? Like, we connected after a long time, and then sir shared that I have moved to Chandigarh. I think he was under presumption that I am still in Batinda. And then said, I said, sir, I am also moved to Chandigarh. Then sir, आप कहाँ हैं? कहते मैं 32 में, मैं 33 में. So you're too close. Then very next day, sir visited. We had preliminary discussion. And तो सर asked कि आप कब कहाँ कर रहे हैं, कैसे दंगल कैसे हो रहा है? तो he said, sir, अभी yet to finalize. And then he offered very kindly that we can do it at the PML. And 2 days after that, we visited PML, and we were very much, I would say, surprised to see such kind of infrastructure in Chandigarh. Usually these schools we go, they don't have that good infrastructure, right? At the local level, definitely you will go to premium B schools. There you will find the infrastructure because they charge very heavy. So they can afford to 30 lakh रुपए लेंगे भाई नरसिंह वाले तो 5-star hotel तो बनाएंगे ही, right? It's very simple, right? And the batch size is also 700. So 700 into 30 lakhs you can very well calculate, and that's not one time, and that's not the only course, and that's not the only campus, right? So anyhow, but given the kind of thing we have, it is fantabulous. So we are so much thankful to you and your entire team, Ingrid ma'am, and this thing, because I am doing one of things right now because Panda sir has to leave today. So sir, small token of love from our side, right? Yeah, we are co-hosts. So this is for Mrs. Project. Thank you very much.
Of course, yes. Very much required.
Sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So 12:45 we meet, guys. Yes. Right. Exactly 12:45 you should be here. You have tea ready, right, with samosas. So जिन लोगों ने complaint किया था कि online में उनको समोसे नहीं मिले, ठीक है? So now they can have samosa. You can have 2 also, but you should be here at 12:45.
I request you all to be here by 12:45 and take the same seats. Okay?